Welcome to 10-5, the official podcast of the OPP Association. I'm Scott Mills.
And I'm Emily Brown, and we are the Strategic Communications Coordinators for the OPP Association, and your host for the 10-5 podcast, the official podcast of the OPP Association. The OPP Association is the sole bargaining agent for the close to 10,000 members of the Ontario Provincial Police in Canada. Our members are our focus and our strength. We aim to provide important information to our members and the public about matters that affect policing in the province of Ontario.
Today on our episode, we welcome back Sergeant Patrick Armstrong of the Perth County OPP Detachment and some special guests that Patrick has wrangled up here. He's got them into something really special, which we're going to talk about. Dancing with the Stars of 911 is back. And our special guests are Lindsie, Adamson, Morgan Rolph, and Austin Kohler, who are all OPP officers as well. And they will be dancing in this event in October. So welcome, everyone.
Thanks for having us on. We appreciate it, Scott and Emily.
Happy to be here. Thank you.
I'm here with my dancing shoes on. Everybody be ready for October.
Awesome. Well, welcome to everybody, and I'm excited to learn a little bit more about that. So we'll kick things off with Patrick. So Patrick, can you tell us a little bit about Dancing with the Stars of 911, please, and what it is?
I just want to say thank you for having us on, and certainly for all your support of the Dave Mounsey Memorial Fund. The OPPA is integral to our success and has been since 2009. In fact, the OPPA was the very first organization to back the fund and has had its hands in every one of the 166 donations and the 6 lives saved. So we appreciate everything that they do, both the membership and the executive. Dancing with the Stars, it's a black tie gala event. That's a kind of a friendly live dance competition between law enforcement, fire, paramedic, military members to have a great fun night. And we do a live defib donation during that event as well. So the Dave Mounsey Memorial Fund, for people who don't know, it's an Ontario not-for-profit which donates life-saving defibrillators in memory of fallen police, fire, paramedic, military members who've died in the line of duty. We've also been able to do donations in memory of corrections and conservation as well. This year, like all our previous Dancing with the Star events, we are donating a defibrillator, and this one is in memory of Sapper Brian Kohler, who was killed in Afghanistan, and his family will be at the event as well. The event is Saturday, October 28th at 6 p.m. at the Hellenic Community Centre, which is on Southdale in London. The tagline for the event is that we're back after 3 years of COVID and 10 years or 10 seasons before that. We're going to be back, and we have police, fire, paramedic, and Coast Guard auxiliary member this year that will be taking part so that we can do what will turn out to be our 168th defibrillator donation. And we're expecting 500 people, Scott.
Oh my gosh. 500 people is a lot of people, Patrick. Not quite sure when you sleep pulling all this type of stuff off. I was wondering if you could maybe give us a little bit of history of the event itself, because it's quite impressive. I don't think a lot of people in the general public know what it is. And I know if you go onto YouTube, you can see some pretty awesome dancing from this event from years past. And I think it's even made it to TV, if I'm not mistaken. Am I correct there, Patrick?
I think one year we did, and I've set it up so that it's a conflict of interest if I dance, and that's how I stay off the dance floor. So we started Dancing with the Stars in 2010, and it was actually Dancing with the Stars of OPP. And we did that for 3 years. We were really fortunate the first year that we had Constable Link Dinning, who is the father of Matthew Dinning, who was killed in Afghanistan in 2006. We had Dave Mounsey's widow, Brenda Orr, dance, as well as Chief Superintendent Ron Gentle, who was the West Region Commander at that time. So in 2014, we kind of opened it up and created of 911. And I think that speaks more to the Mounsey Fund. It's not just a police organization. It is about firefighters, paramedic, and military members who've all given their lives. And each season we have donated a defibrillator. We rotate between usually an RCMP officer and a veteran. And we've had some great judges in the past. We had country music star Beverly Mahood for several years, retired OPP Commissioner Lewis, current OPP Commissioner Karik, world champion figure skater Scott Moore and Tessa Virtue, mixed martial artist Mark Hominick. We've had Bob Reed, who's my Canadian icon. He wrote The Highway of Heroes. And I know Austin will be quite quiet about this. However, our first year we had Walter Gretzky, who is Austin's grandfather.
Oh, wow.
So what we started doing a few years ago as well with our guest judges was including a family member of somebody who was fallen. So we started actually with Dave Mounsey's mother, Shirley, who's just a sweetheart and reminds you of the Queen. And she wouldn't give anybody less than a 9. And it was all positive comments the whole time. And since then, we've had a family member of fallen police officer. This year, we have Colleen Eve coming.
Interesting. So now I'm wondering who the other judges will be this year. So if you keep listening, maybe we'll be able to pull that scoop out of Patrick by the end of the podcast. But for now, let's talk to the other 3 dancers that have joined us today. And Lindsie, we'll start with you. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're dancing with the stars on 911 on October 28th?
Yeah, so I'm Lindsie and I'm currently a sergeant with the Ontario Provincial Police. Just a little bit about myself. I was born and raised in Bracebridge, Ontario. And growing up, I was a summer student on the OPP Marine Unit. And after having that experience, that's when I realized I wanted to pursue a career in policing. And in 2008, I was hired as a provincial constable with the OPP, and I was posted to Perth County Detachment. And in 2022, I was promoted to the rank of sergeant and was posted to Huron County Clinton Detachment. So throughout my life, I've always had a passion and dedication for sports. And so growing up, I had the opportunity to figure skate for a national synchronized skating team out of Barrie, where we competed nationally and internationally. So I look forward to dancing kind of as an extension of my skating years, as I loved the competitive drive to push myself and to push others. Anyways, I'm a huge supporter of the Mounsey Fund, and I've witnessed the fund donate several life-saving defibrillators in the names of fallen police, fire, paramedic, and military members. So I'm just very excited to be part of this special event and contribute to such a great cause.
Well, that's really amazing, Lindsie, and I'm really glad that you're doing that. And thanks for sharing your passion and for a great cause. It's going to be an exciting day that day. And Morgan, you're up next. Can you tell us a little bit about what motivates you for this?
Totally. And I don't know how I follow Lindsay's role. She just read that out. Amazing. So I personally have a connection with the Mounsey Fund. My father-in-law passed away in 2019 during a cardiac-related condition. So when I first spoke to Pat about the Dancing with the Stars of 911, it touched my heart immediately. The fact that they've donated, approximately 160 defibrillators to date is amazing. And I knew right away that I wanted to be part of this to assist in the fundraising for other defibrillators to save other people's lives. So yeah, I'm Morgan Rolph. This is my second year as a constable, and I'm with the Huron County Detachment in Clinton. So I work with Lindsie. So I originally studied criminology and sociology at the Pennsylvania State University, and I was there on a hockey scholarship. Once I graduated, I then returned to Canada and hoped to become a police officer. I was officially hired in August of 2021, so this is about my second year. And all throughout my life, I've enjoyed playing sports and pushing myself and pushing others as well. I also love spending time with friends and family. So again, with that personal connection of my father-in-law, I just knew that I had to be a part of this amazing organization.
Absolutely. Makes sense. Thank you, Morgan. We all really appreciate the support.
And last but not least, we have Austin. And Austin, can you tell us a little bit about your background?
Yeah, hi guys. Thanks for having me. My name is Austin Kohler. I've been employed with the OPP since May 2021. I've been in Perth County for the duration of my career. I grew up in Paris, Ontario, so it's quite the distance from where I grew up. I love it in Perth. I have the pleasure of working with Sergeant Armstrong, so that's great. And like Pat mentioned there earlier, my connection to the event is my grandfather, Walter. He came and he was a judge. He devoted his life to charity. And I know that if he was still here watching down, he'd be proud to see me up there dancing. So, I love sports. Can't say I've ever danced before, but I'm looking forward to dancing with Morgan, and hopefully we can win.
That's awesome, Austin. I gotta say, we were driving down to Brantford the other day, and we got off the highway, and we saw a great big picture of your grandfather as we got off the highway, and I had some young kids with me, and they didn't know who he was, and so we ended up driving on a road that was actually named after your grandfather, and I was explaining all the great work he did and the fact he was a Lord Mayor of Brantford and stuff. So, it's so great you're carrying on that tradition, and it'd be great if lots of people came out and watched you dance, Austin.
Yeah, hopefully.
Well, that's a good segue, actually. Austin, you're not totally off the hook here. I'm just really, I'm wondering a little bit more about the actual dancing. So what have they got in store for you, Austin?
So, like I said, I have very minimal dancing experience. Me and myself and Morgan, we just started our dance lessons last week. We're doing our lessons in London. We started our routine. Morgan seems to be a little bit better of a dancer than me. I've got a lot of catching up to do, but yeah, I'm looking forward to doing it.
Lindsie, can you tell us a little bit about what exactly the dancing will be that your team's going to be doing on the 28th?
So I'm dancing with another OPP officer who is Sirius Benjamin. So people are going to have to come to the event to see who my partner is. And so we've kind of put together with our instructor a disco type high energy dance. So there's going to be lots of sparkle and dazzle, and it's going to be epic. So we're looking forward to that.
Nice. And Morgan, what about you? What's your role in the dance?
I think the main thing is I just have to carry Austin through it. As he said, we both are major dancers, but we're both trying to loosen up. So with our lessons and our choreographer Andrea out of London, it's been an awesome experience so far, and I just look forward to loosening Austin up here and get jiving on the dance floor.
Also, it sounds like there's a lot of pressure on you.
I know, tons of pressure.
Well, it's pretty exciting, and you guys definitely have my attention. So I actually want to go now, and I've been talking it up amongst my friends and family to go up there and buy some tickets. So, Patrick, how do we get tickets for this?
Well, I can't guarantee sparkles because I don't do glitter. But if you want tickets, they start around $50. I know there's that fee with Eventbrite, but $50 for show-only tickets. And then for the show and dinner, it's $125. And our guest speaker this year is Cole Otto. He's an 18-year-old who died of a sudden cardiac event and was brought back by a defibrillator in Mitchell, Ontario earlier this year.
Well, we'll definitely post that information for our guests and for people that are listening. We'll put that in the show notes. So if anybody's listening, you can just check right there and you'll be able to direct to the right place to get your tickets.
That's 100% correct. Check the show notes. There is a website for the Dave Mounsey Memorial Fund that is there, and there's a little microsite in there just for Dancing with the Stars of 911, so you can get all the information there. And I know, Patrick, you can't do this. Everybody can't do this without the support of many agencies, individuals, judges, special guests. Can you maybe sum up what you got going on there this year? Shout outs or anything like that you want to give?
Absolutely. And yeah, we do have the davemounsey.com site, which you can link to the Dancing with the Stars. Everybody, I appreciate everyone's patience with the websites. I do them myself to try save some money. So if they look 1998-ish, I apologize, but we couldn't do this without, of course, the OPP. The OPP has supported us since day one and allows us to carry this on. This year we have Woodstock Police. This is our second year having Woodstock Police Service. We have a sergeant and a dispatcher from them. The Thames Centre Fire Department, we've never had them before, but we have their chief who is dancing. And the Middlesex London Paramedic Service, they've been there since 2014 on. They're one of our guaranteed, always going to supply dancers. They'll be there, and this year is our second time having a member of the Coast Guard Auxiliary. As I said before, our platinum sponsor is definitely the OPPA, and this year we've been able to pick up Mike Pence Electrical as a platinum sponsor as well.
Well, that's amazing. I mean, it just looks like such a fabulous night out. I hope that people will snatch up these tickets because it's going to be very, very worth it. We're coming to the end of the podcast, but I'd like to have everyone sort of give us a pitch to sell some of these tickets. It's super important, obviously. So I'll kick it over to Lindsie first.
Well, everyone needs to come because it's going to be such a great night for such a great cause. And our hopes is, to raise a lot of money for the fund and to have a great night and for everyone to enjoy themselves.
Over to you, Morgan.
Yeah, I would say everybody just has to come witness two tall, lanky hockey players try and put on a show. And who would want to miss that? So come on out, see us sparkle and shine, and support an awesome cause.
And Austin, your thoughts?
Yeah, like Morgan said, I think everybody would really enjoy watching us dance. I think we got a real shot at winning it. So, no, it's going to be a good night. All the money goes towards a great organization, and yeah, I'm looking forward to being a part of it.
We're looking forward to watching all of you. Thanks so much for sharing with us today, Patrick. Thank you so much for all of the work you do tirelessly to put into this event and all of the events of the Dave Mounsey Memorial Fund. We're going to flip it over to you to finish up here and for your final sales pitch about why people need to attend this event.
Well, I think, my first response, I appreciate the thanks, but it is a team effort, and it has been since 2009. If it wasn't for the board members, past, current, if it wasn't for these dancers, and of course all the supporters, we wouldn't have any events and we wouldn't be anywhere. So they're really the reason for the success of the Mounsey Fund. And this is our keynote event. To have it back after COVID, this brings in a ton of money that gets turned right back around for defibrillators. Every cent that the Dave Mounsey Memorial Fund takes in goes directly to the fund. There's nothing paid. We're all volunteers. So this event, it's the highlight, a friendly competition, and it's a donation to a fallen soldier, to a memorial to his family that we still remember.
Thanks, everyone, for being part of this podcast. I hope it drums up some interest for this exciting event. I know I'm going to try to make it there because, especially after talking with you, it sounds like it can't be missed. That's our episode for this week. You've been listening to OPP officers Patrick Armstrong, Lindsie Adamson, Morgan Rolph, and Austin Kohler talking about the event on October 28th of this year happening in London, Ontario, called Dancing with the Stars of 911, and it promises to be an amazing event. And I hope we see some of you there. That wraps up our episode for this week. If you like what you hear, please hit the subscribe button on your podcasting platform so you never miss an episode. New episodes drop every other Friday morning. On behalf of Scott and myself, it's our pleasure to host the 10-5 podcast. And from everyone here at the OPP Association, thanks for listening and stay safe.